Hey guys, Public Kicker here. It's been about a week or so since I've done a video. Like I said, I'm going to try to do these, every weekend. Maybe a couple of weeks ago, but anyhow. We're going to get back working on a four-wheel drive again. We're going to try to get the steering and the dash. I want to thank each and every one of y'all for your suggestions, for your views on my videos, for your comments. But without further ado, let's it's a nice pretty day. It's Saturday, so my day off, thank Jesus. Let's get right to it, and I'm going to show you what I've got kind of like designed so far for the steering. But first, let me get some credits to sulphurcitydesign.com. I think his website is down right now, but later on, by the time you watch the video, it'll probably be back up. You can go over and get my shirts, stickers. Give a thumbs up if you liked the video, and God bless you. Let's get to this build. So let me show you what I got going on. Alright guys, so as you all know, this what I've got. I've just got the motor sitting on there for a mock-up. The steering, I was originally going to use, well, my plan that I'm going to do now is the first plan that I thought of, that I've talked to a few guys, Doc Sprocket, a few others, Zach Miller. But this first plan, which is the one I'm going with now, is what I originally was going to go with. But I had gotten, as you can see down there, amongst all my clutter, a rack of pinion I was going to try to use, but I'm just going to go the simpler way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a sprocket on the end of that steering shaft right there. When you turn that shaft, it turns this little gear on the end of it, which turns the steering arm left and right. But I want my steering to come out over on the driver's side. So what I'm going to do is, I've got something mocked up here. I'm going to put a bigger sprocket right there and a smaller sprocket on to this. If I get this thing set up here again like how I had it earlier. Onto that. I know it's crooked, but what I've done is, this is the original steering that came with this mower. All I've done is I've tack welded a sprocket on the end of it. Nothing permanent yet. I've tack welded some tubular steel. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to tack weld some more braces. Goes from here down to the chassis on both sides. That way it gives me enough spots to weld to, and the chain's not going to be able to, it's not going to fall off. So let me get this all tacked up, and we will come back and show you what we got. Alright guys, here's I've got it mocked up here. If it's in tack weld it. This is a brace. I'll have another one coming off up the top one. So what we'll do is get you on a tripod, and we will get this tack welded so we can get it test fitted. So let me get you put up on a tripod and we'll start welding this. Oh, if you're wondering what kind of welder I'm using, it's a new welder that I just got. It is a Lincoln Pro MIG 180. It's 220. I'm just using flux core right now. I do not have it hooked up. I mean, I got it hooked up, but I have no gas in my tank. So what I'm using is a 10-pound of flux core. So yeah, I built all that on the back of this new cart, thinking that my 10-pound wouldn't fit, but it does. Anyhow, that's the welder I'm using. So let's get y'all put up on a tripod. Alright, let's get this. Alright, there it is guys. For all of you wondering, I know I've had a lot of people ask, how's the steering work? Okay, let me explain it to you now. That bar that goes from there across to that side is connected to the steering knuckles. Okay. That bar has a piece of metal right there on top where my finger is, going all the way across right there in the center. That piece of metal has teeth on it. if you can see, right there, all the teeth here. Okay, then this shaft that comes out of here goes down inside of here, this setup, and it's also got another cog on the end of it where the teeth mesh up with this. When you spin this main shaft, it steers left and right. So what I've done, I want this to be a side-by-side, so I don't want the steering to be in the center. So as you can see, I've welded a sprocket on here. I've made my own homemade hub out of washers. It'll work. I've just got everything tacked in here right now. And it's coming over to another sprocket that I have welded onto the original Murray cog on here, the steering. This would have been where it was at, but I've welded the sprocket on there. These are both number 40 chain. And as you can see, it's obvious, I have the chain connected. That way, whenever you turn this steering wheel, that's not where the steering wheel is going to be located. It's going to be up higher. But when you turn the steering wheel, it turns it. I've made my bracket right here, like earlier in the video that I showed you. And if you see, when I turn this will also have another brace up here. It'll have a bearing holding this still. But let me set you on a tripod and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Like I said, this will be braced up better, but it's also going to come up higher. When I turn this right, it steers right. When I turn left, it steers left. And it actually works out good because, let's see, we'll go in the center, right there. We'll take, not even one full turn is all the way right. Alright, centered is right there. Not even one full turn is to the left. So we're doing good. A lot of this play like this right here, like I said, will be done away with when I get that bearing put up in there. So let's figure out what we're going to do for a dash. Alright guys, took me a break. Now what we're going to do is we'll try to start building the frame for this dash. I think what I've got it figured out, I'm going to come up about 17 inches high up front, and then it's going to slope up and be a little bit, a little bit higher towards your knees. I've already got the piece cut that goes across from here to the other side. And I've got the two pieces that goes up on each side, which is right here. Compliments of Crazy Dave Builds. He gave me some metal when we met up, so I'm going to use some of this right here to build the dash. These are 16 inches, and this is about an inch 3/4, so roughly 17 inches altogether. But we're going to take these into place, get it squared up, and put it up there. Then we'll figure out where we'll go from there. We'll be right back. Alright guys, there you go. That's what I've gotten done today. I got my steering and my dash. I will cover the dash with some metal, maybe some diamond plate. But let me show you what I've gotten done. This is called spare change, so I guess we're gonna add spare parts to it too. Anyhow, I walked you through earlier on how I had the steering set up. Okay, now what I've done is I have welded right here to connect two shafts. And what I'll do later on is I'll take some flat stock, I'll grind this all smooth. I'll take some flat stock and lay all around it and weld it to help it. And then this is a rear pulley hub from like a lawnmower. All I've done was drilled out all the holes. They come spot welded. I drilled all of them out, and then I just took the hub out and I used it for the 5/8 shaft to connect them together. This is an old half-inch swivel, half-inch drive, and then the original steering shaft that holds the steering wheel on. And what I've done is I took a bearing, as you can see, and I've welded two bolts on here. They are 3/8 bolts. They're holding this bearing on, and it steers pretty good. I mean, I'm sure it'll steer a whole lot better once I, get going down the road. But other than that, it steers good. Made me some gussets to help with the frame, to hold the frame stiff. And what I'll do later is I'm going to take this clutch and I'll end up scooting it over to roughly about right here. That way it's going to miss all this. And I may just end up straightening it out and have a little bend, just enough for my foot to go through. All this will be covered up. And what I plan on doing for a hood, if you can picture this, it'll come from that point there. It'll come in at an angle a little bit, and then come straight across, and then go back in at an angle a little bit. And it'll raise up, and you can get to the hood. I don't know what I'll do as far as a grill yet. I'm going to make something. But this will be all opened right here. I'm going to leave this area open, but all this other stuff will be covered. That is what I've gotten done today. Thank you, Dave, Crazy Dave, for the metal, because that is what I used to build my dash. He even suggested using it. So yeah, there we go. I hope you all enjoy. Maybe next weekend, if it's clear, I'll try to do some other work. God bless each and every one of y'all. Thank you for watching.
Straight up out the woods where I love to stay. It's that country white boy that you love to hate. Pushing them 4-wheel drives cause we love some mud. And when we party, we ain't stopping till the sun come up.